In this video, we're going to talk about Elon Musk's new artificial intelligence model, Grok 4, which has just been released and is already being considered by many as the best artificial intelligence in the world. Some people are even saying it's AGI, and others are saying that although it's extraordinary, it's also very scary. Before we start, leave a comment below. Number 1, have you ever used Grok? Number 2, if you've already used Grok, do you like it or do you prefer Chatgpt or Gemini? And number 3, what do you think of Elon Musk? Brilliant but controversial, or you just don't like him, can't stand him? Comment below, I want to know. And to provide a counterpoint to my opinion, I brought in a specialist here. And of course, at the end, I'll share his artificial intelligence channel so you can subscribe. All right? So let's keep going. 3, 2, 1, go. Today is one of those memorable days. In the early hours of the 10th of July, 2025, xAI, Elon Musk's company, launched Grok 4, a direct competitor to Chatgpt, Claude, and Gemini. The question is Grok 4 really the most intelligent model released so far, at least up to now? And of course, I'm saying this based on the benchmarks, the performance tests of these models as soon as they're released, as well as my own brief test, which I'll show you here. Grab your coffee, my friend, come with me, and let's see what Grok 4 is capable of. Let's go. Even though it was released just last night, I put together something really organized to tell you what the new features are and what makes Grok 4 so special. So, first, 2 models were released, Grok 4 and Grok 4 Heavy, right? Grok 4 is the main model for general use. Behind the scenes, it has a unique agent. It applies reasoning to every request you make. If it understands that reasoning is needed, it will use it. That's the chain of thought, or COP. This is really interesting, and it's happening right now. In the past, you would ask a question, it would access the database, and just give you an answer. The answer used to come very quickly, but it would hallucinate a lot. It made a lot of mistakes. Now, for some time, when you switch the model to reasoning, what happens? It reasons things out, comes up with an answer, but still doesn't give it to you right away. It might, for example, do a new search. Sometimes it sends it to another agent to get a different answer. In short, it reasons and then gives you the answer. Now, what's happening, the trend, is that you no longer need to switch the model. Simply put, it will reason through all questions, or almost all of them, right? This greatly reduces the issue of hallucination, giving you more accurate and reliable answers.
And tools. So, to achieve the goal you want, if it realizes that it's necessary to use a tool, it will use it. For example, if it needs to generate some code to perform a calculation or create a new feature you've requested, it will make use of that. What are the plans, both for Grok 4 and Grok 4 Heavy? For that, I'm going to open their own page here, where you'll see that you can click on Pay Monthly. Here we have Super Grok, which is the plan. The name is Super Grok. Instead of being called Pro, for example, or Ultra, here it's Super Grok Heavy. It automatically translated here, but it's Super Grok Heavy. It's $30 per month, and if it's your first time subscribing, they're offering a discount of 7.25%, right? I put it here that you get a $7.50 discount. You pay $22.50, okay? Well, with $30 a month, you already get Grok 4, whereas for now, with a free plan, you don't.
Which is comparable to the price of ChatGPT and Gemini when you apply this discount, right? It has standardized between $20 and $30 per month.
Access to it. The context window for Grok is it's a 128,000 token window. For the API, for those who are developers and build AI agents, it's already available and will go up to 256,000 tokens. To use the 4 Heavy, this is really only for more extreme cases, for situations where you truly need the highest level of reasoning possible, the most computation time. In that case, their $300 monthly subscription comes into play. Early access to new features and dedicated support. So what's the difference between Grok 4 and Heavy? With Heavy, you have the multi-agent version, which will generate multiple reasoning threads. What does that mean? While in Grok 4, you have a single agent working behind the scenes, in Heavyweight, you have multiple agents. They each search for a solution to your request and pass their findings to one another, discussing among themselves to determine the best solution based on the way Grok is trained, which is grounded in first principles.
So imagine that let's take a company as an example, right? There are companies where it's just you, and there are companies with several employees, right? In Grok 4, it would be just you, right? It would be like a one-man company, but it has a chain of thought. In other words, it will think things through. So, for example, you give it a command, right? It will think about it. It won't answer you right away. Then it will do new research. Then it will compare the answers and give you the best one. In Grok 4 Heavy, what happens? Imagine there's an oval table with several employees and the boss. And there's one employee who's good at, for example, marketing, another who's good at sales, another who's good at networking and contacts, and another who's good at negotiation. So what happens? Each one will give their answer from their own perspective, and the boss of the company will take those answers, combine them, and give you the best answer. Basically, that's it. Or sometimes he doesn't even need to ask everyone. If you ask a question about sales, he'll simply send it to the agents who are specialists in that area. So that's a big difference in the way that the way the model applies itself and delivers the solution to you.
A very well-known characteristic that Elon Musk already used is the first principles approach to thinking about things, about solutions, and he and the team brought that into the training of Grok 4. So it will create these multiple agents in parallel to work independently, and they will compare and decide which is the best solution. Like I showed you, $300 a month, pricey, but that's for those who really need it. Just so you have an idea, the progress made in training between Grok 3 and Grok 4, take a look at this. The amount of computing power used with Grok 3, then with Grok 3 with reasoning, and now with Grok 4, they used 10 times more computing power, right? Using the reinforcement learning technique.
Let me continue here with another expert that I really like. Later, at the end, I'll also share his channel because he did some tests with image creation, with website creation, which I know you all really like. And I've even brought some of my own tests here on the channel, okay? So let's get right to it. Let's hit play. 3, 2, 1, go.
You can also access it here through X, obviously, if you have a paid account. So you click here on the icon, look, Grok, Super Grok. And then when you select the models here, Grok 3 is also available, which is the previous one. And Grok 4 here, it says it's the crack, right? Which is the most advanced model. Both are working perfectly. And I wanted to show you the images I generated here. These are images I made for the channel's thumbnail. Check this out. I asked it to make an image of Elon Musk. And the quality of the images, this is just my opinion, okay? I don't know if you all feel the same way, but the image quality seems to be better in this version 4 than in the previous version. A simple prompt, I asked it to create an image of Elon Musk as if he were Gollum, looking at a crystal ball with a number 4 on it. And it did that perfectly.
I create several of the channel's thumbnails on Grok, mainly because first, its fidelity to the prompts, it really follows what you ask for. That's really good. Besides that, it also has the advantage of being more flexible when it comes to copyright issues. In other words, you can use brands. So if I want Toe, I want Mario Bros. Oh, I want Sonic. Oh, I want Mickey. Or even celebrities, right? So I want Elon Musk. I want Donald Trump. I want an actor, a famous actress. I want Tom Cruise. I want Robert Downey Jr. and so on. But the big problem with Grok is the resolution. When it gives you the result, the resolution is really bad. You can clearly see the individual pixels. You truly see that inherent graininess, that fine dust. You know exactly what I mean? When you take a photograph with that old camera you had perhaps 10 years ago, that's precisely the significant problem. Then you will undoubtedly need another advanced AI, specifically an upscale one, to significantly improve the overall resolution.
So you can see it's really cool and working super well, right? So I think that, yeah, when it comes to image generation, it's okay. Let me just exit here. I'm going to open a new conversation just to test it out here. Let's see if it can make images of famous people, right? That's something that's pretty tricky for other AI. Look, in Portuguese even, make an image of, I don't know, Robert Downey Jr. Isn't that how you spell Downey? Let me check if that's not it. I think it is, right? Yeah, sure thing.
With ChatGPT, usually only photos of politicians work. It's tough. Some actors, even those who are lesser known performers, can be quite impressive. But the performance of Grok is truly remarkable and stands out significantly.
Let me remove this glasses. Sunglasses. Let's see. Later we'll ask it to do something for programming. They say this model here isn't the best of the best for programming, but the image generation here, at least in my first attempt today, is really fast, right? So look, it drew Robert Downey Jr., right? You can tell it's the guy. Sunglasses, really cool. The image.
The only problem with Robert Downey Jr. is that he's older now, right? His hair is a bit whiter here. He dyed it, right?
Super cool. And then you have those particularities of Grok, right? When you select the image, you can here look how cool you can edit this image, right? So here you have an editor where you can click here and ask it to make any kind of edit. You also have the option to post the image directly to X. You can post it right away. And you can also download the image directly to your computer. So regarding image generation, I really liked it because Grok had lost a bit of that cool image thing. And with fewer restrictions, let's put it that way. But that's not the case here. Here it's nice. You have all these tools here to generate a high quality image, but also with a slightly less strict sensor.
In fact, when Grok was released, the version 3, 3 brought a video here to the channel with tests, which was Mickey with a gun there. There were even some really, truly horrible and absolutely dreadful tests, to say the very least, or perhaps even worse, right? So this particular video doesn't get taken down from the platform that were like, I think it was either Mickey Mouse or Goofy, or possibly both, in a school setting, and like they tragically killed everyone, you know, in a very disturbing manner. It was something really, truly, and utterly absurd, but it clearly showed that like it's the immense freedom of creative expression of using an intellectual property however you truly desire and want. So that's the characteristic of Grok, both for photos and for chat, for text, right? You can talk to it about some sensitive topics that other AIs don't allow, and it gives you a more honest answer. It doesn't just tell you what you want to hear, which is also a big advantage of Grok.
Because when you ask to generate an image like this, whether it's on Gemini or Chatgpt, sometimes you run into some kind of censorship, but here it's fine. Coming back here to Super Grok, you have the options here for you to use, just like you used before. Everything's all set. Let's take a moment to see if it's truly programming. Let's go ahead and take a good look. Please create a comprehensive HTML code for a classic Tetris game that can be, I will carefully place it here, although I am not entirely sure if it will be able to properly display it on the screen. Displayed right here. Let's see if it will open the canvas automatically.
Another interesting thing is that before we had to write in English if the tool was American, or in Chinese if the tool was Chinese. Now, you can write, let's say, in Portuguese, English, Spanish, or German, and it will work just fine.
Because there aren't any options here, right? Let me just check if they haven't changed anything. Yeah, custom instruction, no. I'm here on the expert model on version 4. Let's see if it will open the canvas here so I can view it. Look, it's thinking, it's really fast, you see, guys? So it really is working.
A big advantage of Grok is that it's much faster than ChatGPT and a bit faster than Gemini.
So it does all the reasoning there really quickly, and then it already starts producing the code for me. Let's see if I'll be able to view it here, if I'm not missing anything. So it depth.
While it's actively creating, guys, here's the essential thing. One crucial thing is truly learning how to effectively use a tool, which is indeed very important. Besides that, even before that, you need to select the best tools for what you're looking for, right? When I teach my mentees in my monetization mentorship, I don't just stick to the tutorial part, learning the tool, because what's much more important than learning the tool is, for example, having a project. For example, if you have a project, you need to select the best tools to carry out that project, okay? But you also need to attract clients for this project, meaning you need to select the tool, create the project, and sell the project, or attract the client who will commission the project so you can execute it. And if you don't want to provide services, there's also the matter of creating sources of income for yourself, like YouTube channels. I have 12, 10 of which are monetized, for example. Besides that, I provide services. I have courses. I offer mentorship. I have products that I'm an affiliate for, and I promote all these projects and create and execute these projects using the main artificial intelligences on the market. In other words, it's a mindset of how to use artificial intelligence to create sources of income to make money. Just a reminder that we've created our channel club. Basically, at level 1, you'll get early access to the videos. You'll also get priority responses to your comments on the videos. But if you're at level 2, in addition to all that, you'll receive exclusive videos, including behind the scenes content. What I'm doing here is really cool. And besides that, you can also ask me anything you want. All you have to do is go to the community, make a post with an image, and leave your question. It could be an analysis, a thumbnail, you want to know if it's good, some suggestions for video topics. Maybe you want to know which AIs I'm using to make money, what I'm doing. If you're thinking about starting a business and you're feeling a bit unsure and want my opinion, ask whatever you want as long as you're a level 2 member, okay? Right below the video, there's a little become a member button. Besides supporting the channel at any level, there's even a level 3, but any level 1, 2, or 3 that you join, it helps the channel and you'll also get wonderful benefits, okay? Continuing, I find it really interesting. It's not exclusive to Grok that you can see its reasoning here, which is basically looking at what the employee is doing, right? What is he doing? Is he just stalling you or is he actually getting things done? You can check, for example, through the office camera. Anyway, here you can see the step-by-step of what he's doing.
Grabbing some essential assets there to make the little game, you see. Oh, the code was truncated. I don't know, just thinking here, let's see if it works out.
What's interesting, what he's creating is the reasoning I always teach about being the boss and knowing how to communicate with your employee. Because it's no use having an employee like the smartest guy in the world if you don't know how to ask for things. So now you can program. You don't need to know how to program. You just need to know how to ask, right? Ask the employee, which is the artificial intelligence, and it will do the programming. So you need to be clear about what you want, know what you want, which is one of humanity's biggest problems, and also communicate well. Because if the employee doesn't understand, it's your fault. It's the communicator's fault. So you have to know exactly what you want and you have to know how to communicate it. Then you'll be able to create apps. You'll be able to create games. You'll be able to create websites. You'll be able to create subscription apps, services, everything, images, videos, everything using artificial intelligence, as long as you know exactly what you want with clarity and also know how to communicate.
He's thinking here, look, I think it's going to work, huh? Worked. Preview it. Let's see how it looks here. See if we can see our little Tetris here. Look, let's use the arrow keys here. Look, it's working, right? It did it nicely here. Just the first time are the pieces rotating. The pieces are rotating. I'm here with the browser window small, so it's doing this weird thing.
Look how amazing. It worked, though it's still very basic. I used to have this mini game. I think I'm 41 now. I think when I was 30, look, 30 years ago, 35 years ago, I already had a Tetris minigame, but this is just the beginning, right, guys?
Right? But it's not just because it's running. No, absolutely not. Look, let's see if it's just going to close my line here right now.
By the way, I made 2 videos about how you can use artificial intelligence to create universes, all right? There, the universe is very realistic, really well made, and also how you can create your own game with yourself in it, okay? I'll leave some recommendations here at the end of the video, all right? They'll appear at the top right. Check them out because then you'll see one thing is Tetris. Another thing is when you see a universe at the level of, say, a PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4.
But it seems fine, right? It's looking nice, just the way I asked. I didn't ask for anything extravagant. I just put in a simple Tetris code. But they should, keep updating this over time so that Heavy has a much higher success rate in programming. Let's see if it disappears. It disappeared. All nice and neat. So that's it. This part of the code is working. You can test it here. I always bring this code in a simpler way because I'm not a programmer. I don't really have big ambitions in this programming area. But I think it's cool if you understand a little bit to see that it's working. especially when it comes to being able to create the code here and also view it inside Grok. Another thing here, let's try a logic reasoning test. Shall we grab one from the internet? Let's go here, look, logic reasoning test. Let's pick one here, one that has answers, right? So we can, let's get the regular ones here. Yeah, the whole subject with answers and scoring. Let's get the whole subject here. This is really live. Let's go, look, logic reasoning test with answers and so on. Let's go. I just want this one here. The building, no, wait, I copied it. Let's grab it here. Will this one give me the answer or will I have to copy it? Let's see here. All right. Will it give me the answer? Yeah, let's see. Let's get here, ask it to solve. I'll leave it on Grok 4, I'll paste it. Look, in a commercial building, there are 7 offices to be rented, all on the same side of a hallway. In how many different ways can 3 be open and 4 closed? Let's see if it solves it for me here. Let's see here. It's going to think. Cool, because these reasoning models, now they think about everything, right? So anything you ask, from the simplest thing to the most complicated, they'll do the calculations there. And then it brought this. There are 35 different ways. Let's go back here. Let's go. Just checking if the first one is here. Let's see if I got it right. If it's 35. 35. Where is it? Oops. Oops. No, wait. Here. 35. Answer C.
Now, here's something interesting. You see that you can either choose Grok 3 or Grok 4. Anyway, you just switch from one model to the other. It's different from Chatgpt, which has 45 modes. I already mentioned this in a video. When GPT-5 is released, then following this same concept of agents, it will basically, based on what you ask, based on what you request, Chatgpt itself, intelligence will route it to the correct model, which will make things much easier. Grok already does this.
That's correct. So just a simple live test here, just so you can see this logical reasoning aspect, which is working perfectly. Shall we do a comparison here with Gemini? Let's give it toilets let as pick one I already have ready here, so my video doesn't get too long, because otherwise the hotel's internet will blow up any minute now.
Because what happens with Chatgpt today, if I'm going to create a game, an app, I have to choose the best model for that. If I'm going to create an image, I'll have to switch to the best model for that. Then I'm going to create a script, right? Something more humanized. Then I'll have to pick the best model. Now I want to ask logical reasoning questions. I'll switch to another model. Now I want to do some deep research, so I'll switch to another model. Do you see the difficulty, especially for those who, most people don't have this knowledge? Grok, you saw that Gustavo there created an image, did logical reasoning, made an app. I don't know if he's going to make a website, which I'm reacting to now. But if you were to make a website, everything would be based everything without you needing to keep switching models. ChatGPT 5 is going to fix this.
Let's see here. Yeah, landing page. Let's see if he made a landing page here. I'm on Flash.
He's going to create a website. I mentioned it.
Let's see here. Modern landing page. Let's see which one it was here. Let me see what the prompt was. Is the prompt here?
In this case, he's on Google Gemini. He's just going to copy and paste here a website he asked Gemini to make. He's going to put it into Grok, most probably to create a website. That's it. Continuing.
Let's see if he can do it. So let's look at this programming thing. Many people use AI to do programming and all that. I think it's really cool, and we can get an idea here. Look, he started writing code here. It's really quick. Look, it thought for 6 seconds and already started coding. Then he's going to let me preview it so we can see.
What a wonderful employee, huh? Started working in 6 seconds.
If it's really done right. So yeah, a lot of people are talking about it. I took a look at X before recording, before doing this live for you. And people are really mentioning this speed when it comes to executing code, right? It's like I said, I'm here on hotel Wi-Fi, so there might be some bugs because, everyone is using it at the same time. But it already finished here for me while I was talking. So in less than a minute, it built my landing page. Shall we preview it? Look, it's cute here. Pastel tones. Let's see it in full screen if I can view it. Look, you can look. There's an option for mobile, right? So here it is. Look, our services, bathing, grooming, consultations, our products, buy. There's a field here to get in touch.
Well, it did it quickly, but it's a very basic website, right? Granted, the prompt used was very simple. With a better crafted prompt, I believe it would definitely achieve better results. All the AIs are already making websites, okay? They're still basic sites, but to reach a professional design, I give it 6 months.
The little buttons here, this one isn't working. It could also be the crappy internet.
Another problem with AI is that it creates something, and then when you try to make changes, it often ends up causing issues in other places that didn't have problems before. You try to fix one thing, and it causes problems elsewhere. And also here in the buttons themselves, sometimes the main page is great, but when you click on products, sometimes it doesn't work. Then you go to fix the products page and the main page breaks. Anyway, for me, the best advantage of Grok is the honesty in its answers. I've already tested the advanced voice mode of Gemini, Copilot, Chatgpt, and Grok. Grok was by far the best, even with, different models, right? So you have the medical model, you have the more open model, you have the model for business discussions, you have the relaxation mode, and there's even an adult mode. And by adult, I mean really adult, you know what I mean? Oh, baby, how are you going to welcome me today, right? Then it goes, oh, baby, I'm going to greet you in my underwear or something like that. Anyway, it's on that level. If you want to know more, I'll also leave some cards up here, but I want to know your opinion. Do you use Grok, or have you used it? Have you tried it out? Did you like it or not? Are you going to give it a chance now? Besides that, do you like Elon Musk or not? Leave a comment. I want to know. And remember, become a channel member to get lots of benefits, okay? I'll leave these videos here so you can keep watching with me. I'll see you in those videos. See you soon.